being able to see the reach of Elevation. It happens here in Charlotte, but it doesn't stay here, and that's what really gets me excited, because I get to see that every single week people all around the world who don't have the ability to either be here, maybe we don't have a location near them, but we get to connect them with really a life-changing message. And I feel like we have so much to offer and so many resources to give, and that also allow us to take what's happening here and let people experience it all around the world. And the life change that we hear about every single week is something that I think continues to push me forward. It's like, are we making a difference? Are we doing things outside the four walls of this place? Well, the reality is yes, and we get that in the form of emails, phone calls every single week, people volunteering with us, people showing up to online e-groups, and I just think the stories that are coming in are beyond incredible. They're literally life-changing stories of people who are being impacted, not even being in this building, but just tuning in online.
When I grew up, my dad was an alcoholic, and he was what you'd call a abusive alcoholic, and he was very free with his hands. And I usually took the brunt of it. That was the scary place for me to be. After 13 years of watching me get to this place, my mom filed for divorce. Abandoned. And that's how I felt most of my life. Kind of abandoned, like, why am I the only person that has to go through this? Why am I the only one who's catching these beatdowns? Why am I the only person who's having to endure this? Everything is happening just it should in my mind that, okay, maybe I've gone past that bad place in my existence and maybe things are going well. I walk into work one day and they came in and they told me that was my last day there, that they were having a reduction in staff. I have a really supportive husband, so he's, we're gonna get through this, it's gonna be fine, don't worry. Then December comes and he calls me and says, you're not gonna believe this, I got laid off. So now I'm like, what is happening? So we both have lost our jobs from long-term employers, and we're at Christmas time with 4 kids. I was just so tormented, just like, what is happening? Someone had shared Pastor Stevens, the struggle is the same. And I was just like floored. Because at that moment, I was like, this is so weird. Like, he's talking to me. I started crying because I was just like overwhelmed. So I started watching, online, and I started tuning in every Sunday. And on May 21st, I decided, you know what? This is all happening for a reason. So I'm gonna, press the button and raise my hand. And I don't know what I was expecting, but I just knew that everything I was doing at that moment wasn't working. But I'm still in this really foggy, dark place of depression. Okay, I raised my hand for Jesus, but what does that mean? What do I do? What happens? And I actually thought, you know what? Maybe I'm not supposed to be here. Maybe I'm the problem. So I had planned that day, that Thursday. I even wrote it in my notes on my phone. I did everything that you could think of that I planned to not wake up the next day.
She's at a very, very low point, and she said her phone rang, and she said it was a number from North Carolina. When she picked it up, and it was Cece. And Cece serves on our welcome team. And so these are online volunteers, and they're all around the world. These guys serve from all around the world, and they get the list and the names and phone numbers of these people who give their life to Christ online. And they reach out to them that week and give them a call and say, hey, I want to hear your story. I want to pray with you. I want to help you move forward in this new relationship. And so Cece was on the other line, and she started just saying, hey, this is Cece, I'm from Elevation. Nicole said she didn't even get out a full sentence, and she started bawling.
Oh, can I get a try? And if she didn't call me that day, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. It was Thursday when you called me, you know.
And I remember you picked up the phone, you're like, hello. I'm like, hey, it's Cece from Elevation. You were like, oh my God. God saved your life that day.
I know. I don't think you got like 3 words in, and I was like a blubbering mess.
But, you know, as awesome as he is and as much as he's done for you and through you, he helped me really realize that this is something that I was supposed to do. And I can't imagine if I didn't listen to him and make that call today. I wouldn't know you today and your beautiful family.
I wouldn't be here.
And now you're serving and you get to talk to people like yourself. And we're on the same group, growing in Christ together. Just uplifting each other.
It's incredible to see what's happened out of just a simple click of a button. And that continues to give us hope. That continues to push us forward. That continues to motivate us to say, my goodness, like just through people clicking on a share button to let other people know what's happening on the weekend. Simply through somebody tuning in on their app, watching on a weekend and saying, that's where hope began for me. And now God's changed my life is such motivation for us to keep moving forward. And Nicole's story is certainly one that sticks out tremendously for us as kind of one of those groundbreaking moments for us to say, oh my gosh, what is God doing through the EFAM? It's been amazing.